Welcome along to the stream. I'm just going to check that my audio levels are a bit better on this one, because I've adjusted the microphone levels a bit, because I noticed on a lot of the streams previous it sounded like the microphone was being rammed down my throat, for the reason that on streams before it was too quiet, so it doesn't seem that what is this music? It seems I can't win, so I'm just going to check that the mic is a little bit better. But we are streaming, of course. We are doing a short flight in the A320 across from Stockholm to Copenhagen, partly because I landed into Copenhagen the other day and it smashed into the ground and passengers started screaming, so I wanted to sort of check that and see how Copenhagen goes, because Copenhagen should be fine. There shouldn't be anything major there that should cause any issues. So Restream chat is still not working, people, because Restream is being slow. Well, they're not really being slow, but it's just the software is bad. The fact that it hangs and it doesn't read messages, and you think those are the two key functions really that I want you to do, and it's not doing it. So I did check before I went live, and we're still on beta 1.031 or something, so we definitely haven't had a Restream update, which is very annoying. I wish they'd hurry up and fix it, because that means I have to read chat myself, which means I get behind on stuff. So again, please do forgive me if I get behind on chat. I will do my best, but of course when I'm taking off and landing, that's not my priority. But I will get to messages when I can. And as and when they come in. Right, let me go and check these levels. Right, there we go. The microphone's a bit better now, actually. It's not quite as in your face as last stream, so that will do. Orinx is here. Hello. Marshall is here. He says he's doing a VATSIM flight. Very nice. We'll see how that goes. Where am I getting this music from? It's a chill piano Amazon music playlist that I don't listen to a lot, but and it's just good for introductory streaming music. I wish I could play my own music, but you know, copyrights might go mad. You seem okay with that? Yeah, it seems better actually. You're on VATSIM with FS. Yeah, I mean, FS Tramp with VATSIM I think would work. Of course, it's a little bit more difficult to adjust your head in altitude, but providing they give you a SID, then I guess there shouldn't be too much to mess about with there. And then it's just on flight plan. So, and you can do your, if they say direct to a waypoint, you can do that by going in the context menu and just go and accelerate it to that, I'd imagine. Yeah, well, alright, about welcome to the live chat. Anyway, let's actually get going then, shall we? So I've done the flight plan. We're on a sim brief plan. We're back on the sky high sounds because I don't like the aerosoft. Well, the aerosoft ones aren't bad, but I prefer the sky high. We're on a plan It says it has a SID and a star. I'm not sure whether it's going to fly the SID. I may have to go and add that manually, but I'm going to give it a go because I'm still trying to work out exactly what it does. Because the interesting thing is with SimBrief yesterday, when I looked in the list view at the plan yesterday with FS Tramp, the SID was there. It was what SimBrief had given me, and there were altitude restrictions, but once we took off it didn't follow them. So I'm wondering if maybe as well it's something to do with me loading the plan in at the gate. I'm going to try it without. I've had various things work even when I've loaded in from the gate, but you know, we're going to give it a go. So the avionics are on, the fuel and payload is set, project flies up, we're at a gate, we don't need to do FS Tramp yet. Well, actually what I am just going to do is just go and just set our cruise altitude and make sure our speed's alright, so we're not going to be going through the roof on that when we get in the air. Right, we're in the IAE livery again, as I say.
Context. Oh, aircraft F. Aircraft dialog. Name. Combo box collapsed. Head Alt plus M. Select
to make sure. There's nothing worse with FS Tramp than it choosing a wrong aircraft, which doesn't happen often, but always check there. I always check anyway, because I have had it before a few times where it's gone back to a Cessna 172, which is no good at all. Right, so we are cruising today at 34,000, which means, see now, because I've adjusted that speed, that goes up to 0.83, and the speed goes up. If I was to then say put that altitude up to 38,000 feet, you can see then we're going at 0.90, which is not acceptable for Airbus, so that's why I come and change it. So we're going to cruise at like, I don't know, 0.80. It's a really short flight, like 300 miles, so we'll be fine. Right, let's OK that. And back to object review, and we'll go back to the sim and get these engines fired up. I'll go and check chat again. Josh, this might be reason why we covered it. Well, yeah, whatever. A lot of the... I found that... How am I... Okay, we don't seem to have many outside stop zones. A lot of the playlists aren't copyrighted. It's very weird. I don't know what YouTube... I mean, it depends. But the problem is the music I listen to, if it's a more prominent artist, it's more likely to get picked up. But some of the, like, the piano stuff, they don't seem to be bothered about. They don't really go after you for that. I mean, I'm not terribly bothered if they copyright it, because I'm doing this more for the stream, not for the archived video. I don't care about that. There goes the dog. The PTU. But I would like it to archive. You do have to add them both manually. Yeah, I guess you do. Well, I'm not going to bother adding a star, because it's already going to follow restrictions down, and we might, you know, have to do holding, so I'm not going to bother with that. It's really weird, yeah. I don't get why it lists it in the list view, but then doesn't seem to follow it. I don't know if maybe it's not added properly. Oh dear, Marshall. Right, I mean, we can look at stars. Sorry, SIDS when we get to the runway. I'll have a look and I'll see if I can load one in. Right, so everything's loaded. We're just going to go and spawn ourselves on the runway. Oh, we are just as soon as P3D decides to play ball here.
Recognizing. Result document. Vehicle. Vacation world. Go to airport. Oh.
There we go. That's what I want. Thank you.
Submenu dialog window.
So we are departing off.
Restore time on move check. Combo box select your starting location. Edit search by airport city. Land. Data button zoom in. Toggle
has it not got my?
Edit search by airport name. Edit search by airport ID. Land.
Okay, it doesn't seem to have the airport. That's weird. So we are ESSA again.
Combo box select. Combo box select. Combo box select. Combo box select your starting location. Restore time on move check. Combo box.
What? Where's my active one? Well, let me just get rid of that. It doesn't seem like it was working properly.
Recognizing. Result document. Vehicle navigation. Vehicle navigation.
Oh, come on, P3D. This is the annoying thing with P3D. The blooming menus.
Vehicle navigation world options use analysis network tools add-ons.
Yeah, that's not very helpful. OCR. I don't want you to show it all in one line.
Help. Add-ons. Cockpit 2. Virtual cockpit.
Now it's not showing go to airport. Where the hell is go to airport?
Recognizing. Result document. Help. Add-ons. Cockpit view. Virtual cockpit.
Where's my go to
0.30.
airport?
0.30.
Right.
Lockheed Martin Register.
Oh, let me just get rid of
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music as well. I don't think that's
Lockheed
really
Martin
infecting it, but I don't know anything else on the screen.
Recognizing. Result document. Vacation World. Go to airport.
Right, there's my go to airport. So are you going to work this time, P3D?
Submenu dialog window. Edit search by airport ID. Land. Edit search. Edit combo box menu. Combo box active runway. Collapse.
There we go. That's what I want. Thank you very much. Right. Now we can actually get going properly. So no, we don't want one of these. So many runways here. We want
26.
that one. Spawn.
Lockheed Martin registered 3 par 3 registered 3 4. Submenu dialog window. 15%. 25%. 35%.
We'll just try the
45%.
waypoints. Yeah, that okay, Josh. That makes sense. I don't get why though, because when I looked yesterday, it had all the altitude restrictions in there, even though I hadn't put it in. So it seemed to have picked up the SID that SimBrief gave, and it had all the stuff, but it just didn't do it. Although to be fair, it didn't have speed restrictions, so whatever. Right. So we're not going to bother with the start, but I am going to try and do a SID. I can't remember what actually what SimBrief wanted me to do now, so we're just going to sort of. I might remember it when I see it. Yeah, open. That's what we want, isn't it? I'll be the one. Right. So what we want is, we're not going to bother with adding a runway because we've already sorted out with that. But we are just going to
zoom in, press right mouse, land, 300, AVO, DCAPP, 300,
go and find
SA705 DKR4G 100, 150 feet map, SA100 Prague, SA137 050 56 4579.7, 250 degree, Rs, ID route course alt, FTK, AC1 plan Arlanda, AVO, RW list, 1//O line, IOS DKR4G DKRN 872 Navarro 1 EKCH IPS, find input, IOS DKR4G DKRN 800, IOS DKR4G DKRN
S or something DK4, okay, I might be able to find that.
DKR4G DKRN 872 Navarro 1 half, left 1 half. No previous.
I'm trying to get to the
space.
It's the SIDS thing, but it's right at the end. I'll tell you what I might do. I might just do it in the other way. Let's try the list view.
1//O RW list AVO AC1 plan Arlanda ID route course alt FT Rs 250 degree Prague
where is
150 feet
a waypoint?
SA705 DKR4G 108
maybe I can click on that one.
SA805 dialog find input line /O line as a DKR4G DKRN 872 Navarro 1 EKCH property page find input line check.
Shut up. We should make a song for this point. We can just play while I'm doing this, called Faffing Around with FS Tramp. Waiting for FS Tramp to go to the list view. No, I don't want that. I want the list view. Oh, have we gone past it? I don't know.
Dialog find input line /O line as a DKR4G.
Why are you so laggy?
Property page 250 Z 150 FT0 FT/min0 nav 1 frequency 113.70 nav 1 nav 2 frequency 110.
Yeah, I don't want you to. Is it even on the list view? Has it brought the list view up?
Dialog find input line /O line as a DKR4G. Plan tools. AC1 plan.
Maybe, but I don't think it actually.
0 KT SA706 113.70 nav 1. DKR4G 220 110.6.
Oh, that looks like a waypoint. The DKR4 Golf is our actual departure. That's the one that we're on. So it is in there, because we've got, because this is FS Tramp, apparently we have to go and re-add it again, even though it's already there. See, that says FT 2895, it's got a restriction right there apparently, but
list unknown.
That's not the tree view, I don't think. Or the list view.
Property page 250 Z 150 FT0 FT.
There was a SIDS thing up here that...
SA7 0 feet /desk. SA705 DKR4G 150 feet. SA137 050 56 4579.7. Prague 250 degree. ID route course alt FTK AC1 AVO 1//O IOS find input line. ESSA DKR4G DKR 872 or 1 EKCH. 1//01. Find input line. Plan tools. ESSA01 FS tramp. Top ESSA0.
Where is my actual SID thing gone?
AC1 plan. ID root course alt FT 250 degree. Proc. ESSA 150 feet. ESSA 100 S.
I can't even see where my
ESSA alt FT 137 times 05056 150 feet.
that.
SA 705 DKR4G desk. 0 feet /min. SA 707 DKR4G 200.
Oh, I'm just gonna go in a minute. I'm not faffing about any longer with this. This is just ridiculous. Getting on my nerves. Left click on the set of waypoints. See, there are no waypoints that seem to actually appear. That's the find input line, which we don't want.
Property page 250. Nav 1 frequency editor.
No, I don't want the nav. I think, is there a list view around here?
Dialog find input line /O line. ESSA DKR4.
This is why I wish restream chat would work, because then I could have it read it out.
Property page 250 dead 150.
No, it's just a thing.
Nav 2 frequency editor only 1. ADF frequency editor.
No, I don't.
Flight plan M1 checkbox not checked.
I don't want to fly your plan. I just want to.
000. HD 23 degrees max. Autopilot 0020 alt 000 HDG. Map 1 ADF.
What? Like, where do you actually click that?
110.60 DKR DKR4G 220.
That's the waypoint there. Well, that's part of the flight plan. I use object now. What's it giving me now? Oh, that's just all the route things. Let me just check the chat, otherwise we're just going. I'm not faffing about with this any longer. Right, it's a bit past the... I don't think it needs maximising. I think it's just the fact that it's been a bit... Right, if we left click on this then, so okay, just as it's past the find input thing. Right, so if I just... Shut up. Right, let's just tab again. Right, there's a list, so is it this? I'm arrowing down in this, but nothing seems to happen with that list. Which is apparently a list, but there's nothing there.
Property page 250 dead 150 FT0 FT/min0 nav 1 frequency 113.70 nav 1 nav 2 frequency 110.
That's just like the property
nav 2
stuff.
frequency editor only.
That's the nav 2. See, why can't FST pick this up when it's in the SimBrief plan? It looks like it's got the restrictions. Okay, yeah, there's the find. Again, so... Do you have to continue on past like the nav 2?
Property page 250 dead 150.
That's his property page.
Nav 2 frequency editor.
Right, I tell you what, let's see what happens if I carry on past it. That seems to be like the fly plan stuff.
Heading editor only 00.
And the heading
altitude editor only.
boxes.
Vertical speed editor only. ES checkbox not checked. Mach number editor only 0.00.
That's just all that type of stuff.
HD. Map 1 EF 0 110.60. DKR nav 1. DKR DKR4G 227,765 272 31.00 43 17 3497.7 116.80. Okay.
I don't get this, to be honest with you.
Course 220.
That's the route. That's all the information with the route, which is not... Shut up, FS tramp. Oh, okay. Right, we're just flying plan. I'm not doing this. This is just stupid. They can't get it to recognise a SID, which is on the thing. Okay, Typics or something. That's the waypoint I haven't seen before. No, that's just another route. See, that says the route with the, which is the airway. These are all the See, that said DKR, DKR4G, oh, 2895. So you see, they're all the parts of the SID, and they have restrictions. Ah, got it. Now if I tab again, we should have this... I don't even know how I did that. Oh, that's just the runways. I don't want your runways. Oh my god.
Property page /O line SDKR 800 150 SR0
I want the
SR0 137 050 24,525 250 RWY01L ID AC1 plan
That's the
SIDS.
Right, if I click on SIDS here.
Preview level 0 1 expanded 1. No
here we go. This is what we want, or should be.
Expanded 1. No objects inside. No next. No previous.
That's the Arlander thing.
List unknown. Preview Arlanda expanded 1 to 1. Level 1 R's collapsed 1 to 1.
Right.
Battle collapsed 1 to 1.
I think this is what we
DKR
want
collapsed 1 to
here.
1. Cargo
Here we go.
DKR
DKR.
Level 2 DKR 4C01L 1 to 1.
We want...
DKR 2B01R1. Event
No.
2R08 1 to 1 leveled. DKR 2L08 1 to 1. Event 4Q19L1. DKR 4E19L 1 to 1 level 2. DKR 4G19R 1 to 1 level 2. DKR 2K26 1
I
to 1
think
level
we
2.
were on
Level 1 cargo collapsed 1
the...
to 1. Level 2
It
DKR
gave
2.
us, I don't know why it
DKR
was.
4G19R 1 to 1
That
level 2.
looks like it's from 19R, but that's the one it gave us, the
DKR
4G.
4G19R.
So that's the one we're using.
Context sorting by ETP associated with flight planner.
Associate with flight plan. We got there.
FS tramp.
We got there, people. I need to find a
Dialog find input line
way
line,
to get that to
SDK
work. You know, where it's really easy to
DKR
do,
4E19
because that was
0
just
KTS,
not fun.
DKR 150 feet DKR 2L08.
Right.
ID root course all. AC DKABN.
So all we're going to do now is go to the autopilot thing.
DKR 4G9 100 NAV 1 Cox and DKR Lipsy N8 ADF map 1 fly autopilot 0 autopilot map 2 U autopilot.
And let this load. Click fly plan, and we're going. So there we go. We've added the SID. So technically now it should fly the stuff. Interestingly, I don't know why this SID looks like it's from, like I say, runway 19R.
Fly holding M. Fly plan M.
Whereas we're going off runway 26 according to SimBrief, but whatever. Right. Now watch it show that this SID doesn't even have any.
34,000.
It doesn't even have any altitude restrictions. It was 34,000.
220.
Although we have got a 220 knot speed restriction, so I guess it was worth it for realism's sake with that.
Menu.
Now we've also got the
Lockheed Martin registered pre-par 3D registered V4. S.
Right. So stick some flaps out. Parking brakes can be released as well, and then we're going. Let me just check chat. I don't know, Josh, to be honest. The waypoints thing is a bit weird, because I know you have to left click on a waypoint. Hit the runway and sort it. Yeah, I know, Marshall, but I clicked SIDS and nothing happened. Like, there was no SIDS, you couldn't get to the list view because there was nothing there, so, you know, that's why. Right, we're going. Parking brakes are released, let's go. Right, I think we're up.
G.
Gear can come up. Flaps up.
S.
Okay, I think it's trying to sort us out for this 220 speed restriction.
FS tramp. Property page 237 decades. Fly holding autopilot map 2. 176. 100 HDG. 23 degrees max tank. 34,000. 1800 FT/min. 220. S.
Yeah, I need to figure out a way of doing that. So you click on your departure, Josh, because there's two ways of doing it for what I found. You can either click on it and then you use object nav and you can go into like the tabs, or you can tab to your list view and see it there, but then it tends to show you the runways for the airport, not the SIDS.
S.
Right, we're kind of just keeping for this 220 knots speed restriction.
1900 FT/min.
And that's interesting. Maybe it is, you know, adhering to a speed restriction. Sorry, an altitude, because I know we are going to 34, but the climb rate is only 1900. So. Marshall, I'm on Project Fly. Right, I think that's got rid of that restriction. Which it has. Yeah, so that's the sort of thing a SID will do. Obviously, there doesn't seem to be many altitude restrictions because I think we're just going up now. But it was
2200 FT/min.
Was controlling our
S.
speed up to that point, which is good. I need to email the FS Tramp developer about that, because that's very weird that I don't know, I just find it weird that it's in the sim brief plan. I can literally see the SID points are there with their respective restrictions, but then you still have to go and add it manually. Like, I don't get that. But I don't get why it can't just pick them up. Or maybe, I think it probably does pick them up, but it doesn't seem to fly the restrictions properly. So if you want it to fly the speed and altitude restrictions, that's when you have to go and add the SID. Which is a bit weird. I don't know why it can't just look it up, but you know, is what it is, I guess. Right, looks like we are above 10,000 feet, which is where we are now, increasing the power.
34,000, alt, 2100 FT/min, 280. 2100 FT/min.
I think it's perhaps even still now adhering to a restriction, because we're still only going up at 2200. And it can go up at 25, so perhaps altitude restrictions.
280, 2200 FT/min. S.
Yeah, I mean, I usually end up, because I've done it before, I usually end up getting to the SIDs just fine. I can add them in the end. It's just, I'm trying to work out the best and most efficient way, because you end up sort of, you left click on a waypoint, you can object nav and you'll get a tab, or you should at least get a tab, but it seemed to be hidden for me, so maybe all links was right and it had been hidden. But you usually get like an object nav tab, or you can tab to the list view. So let's go and see if it says we're on go around now, Josh. I don't even usually look at the flight phase that much because it makes no difference. But no, it says I'm on route at the minute, so it seems that it didn't. The reason Project Fly does that is because what it thinks is it's the idea of if you land the aircraft and in real life and in the sim, you can obviously do like a, you know, you land, it's like a touch and go, or if you land badly you can then go back around. and just kind of power off the runway. And then when it bounces, because it's like on the runway and we were taking off, because FST doesn't seem to keep you on the center line, it seems to, if the plane bounces on the runway, Project Fly then thinks you're going to go around off the runway, which is a little bit weird, and it is also partly a bug. It is also partly a bug with Project Fly, because I have seen Sided Simmers report it. Yeah, I think that could possibly help the situation, but I think it's just about the surface and the way the plane takes off if it bounces a bit. So when you add your SID, Josh, or runway, how do you do it? Do you then, so you go to any waypoint, you activate it and you do the left click, do you then go to your list view and go to your departure airport there and then tab and it brings them up there, or are you using object nav? Because I mean, when you tab out of the list view on your departure initially, it will give you the runways at the airport. You can OCR and click on SIDS, and then it'll show you the SIDS, which is what I ended up doing. That was two in very quick succession. Yeah, that seems to be the thing, Josh, that sometimes you tab and the runways are there, sometimes you tab and the SIDS are there. So I guess then the best thing, because what I did when it did that is went and OCR'd to the point where you get SIDS, just with screen review. Not OCR, I don't know what I'm on about. Screen review, basically, until you get a SIDS, activate that, and then it shows you SIDS. Yeah, I guess it's just a bit hit and miss. It is what it is. It only took about an extra 10 minutes to get it sorted. I guess the only thing is, it might be a bit awkward on VATSIM. You'd have to get that done at the gate, and you'd have to just hope that when you spawn that it transferred the data, because you wouldn't be able to sit on a runway and do that. Yeah, I wonder if you have to
S.
add a runway first, and then the SIDS will show in the list view. Otherwise, because I mean, you don't have to add a runway, and really, the SimBrief has a runway as well, which I saw it had the runway listed, but I don't know if it didn't register that.
S. S.
Maybe. It's a little bit weird. Like I say, it just takes a bit of messing about. But you know, you get there. Or you can just fly without a SID, of course, but it really depends. Some SIDs are a lot more worth it than others. Some SIDs have no restrictions on. I've seen it where it just goes to 250 up to cruise, and it's just, you know, whatever. And I've also seen them where they have a lot of restrictions, in which case it's very good, and you know, it's really realistic.
Top neck.
And what that noise was, I just heard a ding, like on, you know, like the one on Eurofly. And why my FS Tramp doesn't have the name of the plan in it?
Property page 217.
Bit weird.
Zero.
Take it, we are actually.
Armanda. FS Tramp. Top Armanda. FS Tramp.
Oh, I think it's just because I had the other windows open. But we seem to be on the plan. Climbing at 1400 now, 280. 227 nautical miles, only at 26,000 feet, so got a little bit of a way to climb yet. Yeah, I like these sounds better, I really do. They're just more bassy, they just sound more real. You really get the bass of the engines. The Aerosoft ones are just a bit like, I don't know, they're just not the same quality. I mean, I like some things about the Aerosoft. They do have a shutdown sound, which is nice. Which these don't for some really weird reason. But I mean, of course, with these Sky High, you've also got the benefit that you can change cabin positions. You've got your config for your cockpit, your front and your back. You've got the PTU in them, so there's a lot of things that I like about these more. Robin, how does it? Yeah, it's relatively easy. So the fly plan box is basically your nav box in FSXP in a way. That is it was on the plan. So if you uncheck that, then you can go to your read-only boxes. If you tab around, you'll find them, and you click into them, and they'll change from read-only to edit boxes. And then you'll have you'll be able to adjust your altitude and heading. Because even if you put a SID into FS Tramp, on the default ATC, on Radar Contact 4, on PF3, they'll all give you vectors. I think they will, at least they don't properly follow the SID. I think it's only Pro ATCX which follows that, but then the voices apparently aren't as good on that add-on.
Yes.
So, but it is easy. I wouldn't say it's as easy as FSX Pilot to fly with ATC, because it's a bit more of a pain to click into stuff and do it. It's not as easy as just type set heading blah 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 enter done, but it's doable.
Yes. Yes.
Josh, you'd have to. Yeah, I know that, and that's absolutely fine. The thing that just confused me was when I looked in the list view, the runway was there. It said ESSA runway blah blah blah, but then you still have to go and add it. And it was the same with the SID. The SID was already there, and then you still have to go and add it. I've no problem with adding it again, because like you say, that's what they're doing in FMS. It's just weird that it's there and it can't pick that up, but it can pick the rest of it up. Add gates, yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, if you could. Well, in real life, a lot of aircraft have like the ACARS thing that will send them what gate to go to, what stand. Robin, your Windows state. Oh yeah, I remember you saying, Robin, that your Windows state was not doing so well. Didn't you have to? Because I remember you restored it or something, and then you had a problem with your planes in P3D where they wouldn't move at all, which is very weird. Oh, just as PF3 has a sit and start mode, so you have it on. Oh, so PF3 does. It's not just Pro EKCH. You said, yeah. Okay, so you're saying PF3 does have it. So will it do the? Will it just say fly, blah blah blah, SID, and then just let you do it? Because there's nothing more annoying when you're on a SID and it starts vectoring you. Because as I've said before in videos, I have default ATC, and I've updated that with the edit voice pack thing, so that works okay. I have I did have radar contact 4, but it doesn't work, it won't install, and PF3 was bad with FSXP, but I guess I could look at that now for FST, and Pro EKCH is okay, but I like it to have good sort of sounding voices, so. When this kept moving into, that's very weird. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they shouldn't start. So I mean, I have had it before with aircraft where when you take the parking brake off, it will roll a bit sometimes. It does sometimes start moving forward a little bit because you've released the parking brake. That's normal, but for it to increase speed like that and just carry on and on and on is a little bit drastic. How are we doing with FST? Okay, we'll try Project Fly. 32,005, okay, so we're still climbing up to cruise, slowly.
Cruise speed, /A, 424 feet, 32,192, distance, 221 degrees, Lockheed Martin registered, report 3D registered before.
You can see from this and from my previous videos, like the powers remain pretty much constant throughout this entire climb, and it'll come back a bit in a minute because we're obviously what are we at now? Yeah, we're climbing slowly, but we'll be up at cruise pretty soon. So, in fact, you can hear it coming back now because we're going to be at 34,000. PF3 has his... Oh, YouTube character count. No. Oh, okay, that's a bit annoying. That's a bit of a faff. So you have to actually go to PF3 and enter the name and all the stuff. Well, I mean, it's better than nothing, I suppose, but... Anyway. We are levelling out. See if it's got my plane level actually, because I've had it with FST where it's struggled to maintain cruise on some aircraft, which is interesting. Okay, it looks like it's just climbing a little bit more. Yeah, you see, this is the weird thing it sometimes does. The climb rate, as you can see, is still at like 1300, even though we're pretty much at cruise. So we are staying at the same altitude, but it's just struggling a bit. It's weird. It does that sometimes with aircraft, and I don't get what it, what it does that for. PF3 Dev refuses to add Navigraph support. That's just kind of stupid. I mean, it'd make it so much easier for everything to be integrated with that. And RC4's 12, yeah, RC4. RC4 just seems a bit outdated, which is I guess why they just kind of just released it and then said can just have it for free, and we're not developing on it anymore. Which is a shame, but RC4 has I do like some of the features with RC4. I really do like the auto comms, helpful. I like the fact that it can pause at top of descent, and it just, you know, does it whenever your top of descent is. I like the fact it's got holds as well, which you can have on, so it, you know, like in real life, they'll hold you. That's nice. So there are things about it that I like still, but I just can't get it to work. See if FST's leveled out now. It's very weird how it does it with some aircraft. Like, we're not falling out of the sky, we're at cruise, but it just does not seem to. I wonder if it's sorted itself out now. Sometimes it does. There you go, yeah, we're at 0 now. I think it's, I've had it with some aircraft, right, it just does not sort itself out and it just takes forever, but this one it seems to be. It's fixed its, well, it's just sorted itself out after a little bit. So we're at cruise pretty much. Not long till top of descent. 160 nautical miles, so not too long at all. 441 on the ground speed, and we'll see how we're doing to Copenhagen. Because, like I say, I flew in there the other day, and when I landed with this aircraft, you got the passengers screaming when we hit the runway. I'm not sure if I idled the throttles a bit too early, but I don't know why, or it was a bit weird because there's no terrain or anything around Copenhagen that's major. It shouldn't have an impact. So. Notice that, yeah, actually, Josh, it does seem to in some situations. It seems FST AP seems to do better in some situations than the actual sim AP. Like I say, with that one there, it really seemed to be struggling, and it does it especially, I've noticed, with the Riku 737 using the sim autopilot. I mean, it could just be some idiot who's programmed the Riku package wrong, I guess, but it even when we're at cruise, the climb rate stays at like 1000 FPM just to keep us level. They just added the ability to stream to my Facebook profile. Alright. Well, I'm not going to stream to my personal Facebook. In fact, I barely even use Facebook. I guess I could make a blind flight sim a Facebook. Because I have everything sort of separated from my my personal, you know, like I have my own Twitter, and then I have the blind flight simmer Twitter, and I have my own email and blind flight simmer email and whatever. No, neither could I, Robin. I don't know how accessible Pro ATX. I mean, I'd imagine it's usable. Josh is probably better placed to answer that because I've never used it. Because, well, I mean, the voice options just don't seem that good on it. But that's interesting. You couldn't get PF3 to work. I definitely know RC4 doesn't. What we need to actually do, and what we might as well do, is go and have a look at what flight requests we've actually got. Because I was going to do some flight requests after this. So we could do one of them. Let's see. I'm sure I've looked at this document before, but I'm just going to see what seems doable. Milan to Mabai. That flight's on Eurofly, and it's like a 6-hour flight, so that's a no-go today. That was something in an A380, that's another long haul. It was an A330-300, I think, on Eurofly as well. That was one that could be done, although that looks like a long haul actually. KIHA to LOWW in a 737-900. That looks a bit long. There was this Reagan to Logan in the 76 on Eurofly. If I remember, there was Zagreb to Dubrovnik in the A319, or oh, Q400. We could do the Q400. That'd be quite fun with FST. I haven't flown the Q400 with the new TSS sounds. We had, that was, I think, Houston, I'd imagine, to KMDW, wherever that is. 737 in FSX or P3D or whatever. Istanbul to Baku. That was JFK. It's just, I don't know what that is, some A300 flag. So we could do the Q400. Might be fun. Go away, documents. So yeah, still sitting up here at cruise. Josh, okay, so the interface is great, just the line up and wait thing. Yeah, I guess because when we move the aircraft to the runway, and even FSX pilots taxiing, it doesn't necessarily line up at the threshold. I don't know if it actually puts you on the runway. Hold the track, yeah. Right, okay, Robin, yeah, okay, that's a shame. That's a shame. I don't know. I guess I can either go for not RCV4. I can either go for PF3 if I want an ATCL on that, or PF3 or Pro ATCX. So it's accessibility and the SIDS or the better voices, you know, and it's obviously still accessible, but it's just a bit more, a bit less. Okay, hi Kyle, welcome back to the stream. Right, so you can see FS Tramp is doing its usual. We're going to descend pretty late because we're now 112 nautical miles and we're at 340, but that's absolutely fine. It'll get us down. It just sort of vectors you around a bit. Oh, I think we're going down for top of descent. Here the engines roll back. Let's hope you don't get another +9 100 landing mate, Marshall, because that would be very weird. Very good for your average landing mate, but very, very strange. Did I know Airbus is discontinuing the A380? Yes, yes, I did see that. Very, very sad, but you know, 4-engined aircraft are on the way out. That's, you know, they're just not as efficient. Emirates cancelled many of its A380 orders in favour of the A350 because it's just more efficient. So the A380 is being they're no longer delivering. I think from 2021. It's still going to be around. You know, it's not, we're not the last we're seeing of A380s, but there's not going to be any new orders placed. Right, so let's go and see what we're doing here. I don't know what that dinging noise is there. Like the FSXP noise, but it's not. I don't know whether it's the Airbus. So we're going down to 22,900, minus 1,900. It's all in order, so pretty routine approach, at least it should be, until landing. Right, Kyle. So,
0.61.
Here we go, the Mach speed's right down to 0.61.
Max 2000 FT/min. All. 20,900.
20,900. Oh, another one.
10,100.
10,100 we're now down to. I wish they'd update the sounds on the outside for this. They're nice, but they're a little bit kind of... I don't know, just a bit... weak.
Alt. Minus 2,700 FT slash min.
Oh, we're definitely bombing it down here.
Alright. 280. Alt. 10,000. Alt. Minus 2,100 FT slash. Alt.
Yes. Coming back a bit on the climb, mate. So what I might do is I might do the Q400 flight after this as a flight request. I think it was Zagreb to Dubrovnik. So I need to find out what Zagreb's IKO is. Anyway, we'll do it in FSX because I have a Q400 in there. I don't think there is one for P3D. And I need to go and install the TSS sounds because I currently have the Sky High ones and I want to try the TSS. So I need to go and do that. And then we can do that flight as well. Right, how are we doing? We must be pretty close to getting down.
Fault. Minus 1600 FT, 280.
Or, no, we're still at 280, so we're still above 10,000. We've got a little bit of a way to go yet. I'll see you flying, Marshall.
Minus 250.
Right, we're coming down to 250 now, so we'll start doing flaps in a little bit.
Fault. Minus 1200 FT slash in. 250.
Anyway, we'll see how this landing goes. It could be that there is something weird with Copenhagen that FST doesn't like on landing, that there is something there, I don't know. But I'll log it on Project Fly, even if it's not a good landing, as long as it's not, you know, ridiculous, like minus 1,000 or something. Even if it's pretty bad, I'll log it. I'm not too bothered about my average landing rate on Project Fly. Not, you know, I'm not going to start not logging flights because the landing rate is a bit bumpy. You know, like I say, as long as it's not ridiculous, then we'll just log it just fine. We need these engines coming back a little bit more. I wonder if that means our speed's coming back. 250 now, still on the speed.
Yes, 250.
Because we'll start putting the flaps out. You won't really hear them because we're on cabin view, so it's just more like a hum, buzzing kind of thing. So it's very, very quiet, especially with all the wind. There goes 240. So we'll put out a notch flap. I can hear them on my headset very quietly, but.
240. $235.
Give it another notch. Marshall, you've just landed at Ryanair, 77 yeah, that's a good landing rate actually. It's almost too good for Ryanair. Ryanair are known for smashing planes into the ground, but that's just for them.
230.
Right, another notch flat. Right, how are we doing on
Minus 220.
speed? 220. I'll keep the flaps in a little bit more. We don't quite need more flap yet.
220.
Wait till we go down to 215.
Minus 220.
Keep an eye on it.
$215.
Okay, great. Another notch flap then. See if FS Tramp's going to decide to add a load of power. Well, it's not FS Tramp, it's the Simul pilot, but
215.
whatever. Seems alright actually.
Minus 210.
There it goes with some power in because of the flap. So it's now aiming for 205 knots, so we're not quite. I'll tell you what, let's go up to our altitude, ready for approach. Climb rate. Right, here we go, that's I think our altitude with some random thing after it. We're currently at 4,000, so I'm not in any rush to put the gear down yet. You're in, Marshall. A Ryanair 73 or a Riku one. It's very much a luck thing with FS Tramp. It's not. It's FS Tramp's landings aren't even skill. Like people say, what can you do to get a good landing rate whenever you get a good landing rate? Well, the answer is nothing really. It's very sort of difficult to say. There's no formula. It's just you have to work out when the best time to idle the throttle is in your aircraft. You could try and you know, make the plane's nose come up a bit with your trim, but you don't know. There's no guarantee, you know, that that's going to work. You don't know that the trims come up. And, you know, I've seen people do that and then still get bounced landing rates. So it's just a matter of luck really, and how well you get it onto the runway. Because FST doesn't specifically control you once you're on the runway, because the AP is out there. Right, gear's coming down now. Because we're pretty much at like 2600. Hello eSpeak. Some good old eSpeak. Marshall, you need to try the Premiere. Haven't you already tried the Premiere? I thought we already did that with FST. Or you mean on VATSIM? Okay, that message was a bit jumbled, Marshall, but I think you mean the Riku one. Yeah, the Riku one is interesting. It's sometimes landable, but we've had issues with it. Let me just stop myself from echoing. You're going to try the Paranado and see if you can get it into Nottingham. Yeah, that'll be fun. You'll have to go some real braking on there. Even Nottingham's a bit short with its runways. A Premiere. Right, buckle up everybody and get ready for a terrible landing rate and a terrible landing if it's anything like yesterday. But I have got good landing rates with the Airbus, so there is hope. Right, we're past 1,000, we'll hear the AP come out, and for once it is the right AP sound. It's the Airbus one, the thing. Of course, we've got e-speak callouts, which isn't ideal because it doesn't sound very realistic, but it'll give us some guidance. Oh, the AP's come out very early. But okay, I'm just going to leave the power. I don't want to idle it too early. And we're not even at 100, so...
Minimum 200.
200? Yeah, it did come out very early on this approach, actually. I haven't seen it come out that early before. Interesting. Right, we're struggling, I think, to get down now, so I'm just going to start bringing the power back. I'm just going to idle the power, because we're... no, you're not.
17%. Lockheed Martin register.
20 retard.
Right, we're down. Braking. Let's get some reverse. That wasn't very helpful, Firefox. I don't want your updates now. Firefox is installing an update. Are you really? Well, I'm in the middle of landing, so Firefox is not installing an update. Anyway, that didn't sound... I mean, we didn't get the screaming passengers, so that's always good. Reverse out. Flipping Firefox. What a spicer. Parking brakes on. Huh. Yeah, you see, that's what it did yesterday. I think there's something at... No, you're not doing that plane. I think there's something at Copenhagen where it makes it do that. I think it's launched us back into the air now. B3D's crash detection is supposed to be off. Yeah, it has launched us back into the air, but whatever. There's something, I think, at Copenhagen.
Lockheed Martin registered. Prepar 3D registered V4.
Yeah, that's just brought up a dialogue, but whatever.
Unavailable. Lockheed Martin registered. Prepar 3D registered V4.
It's...
Lockheed Martin registered. Prepar 3D registered V4.
There's something at Copenhagen, and I don't know what it is, but there's something that FS Tramp doesn't like, and it always seems to hit, but, you know, we sort of landed there. Right. I didn't want Firefox to do that. Oh yeah, there's there's just a thing that's popped up that says about something to do with my sound.dll because of the I think it's the fuel low. Call out FD fuel low, yeah, I know that. That's because you just tried to
Top, blank, bottom, close button closest to window.
Yeah, I want you to close, please. Are you gonna close? I don't think it is. Whatever, I don't need P3D anymore. I hope it didn't log that second landing rate, but let's see how it went.
100 cruise speed, flight, go round.
Yeah, you see, it's just something at Copenhagen that made you bounce, and I don't know what it is, but that's very weird. Yeah, it's got the same landing rate almost as yesterday. Minus 1,000 and something. I am going to complete the flight because I want to see what our original landing rate actually was. But it's got the same... That was pretty much what we got yesterday when I came into Copenhagen. Which makes me think that there's something at Copenhagen. Go away, Facebook. There's something at Copenhagen where I don't know whether it's a building at the end of the runway or something there that it doesn't like. Anyway, 1 hour 22 minutes, blah blah blah, 295. See, now there's only one landing, but if we look at it, you've got 9.362 G-force, which is very abnormal, and that suggests that that was fine. 119 knots is fine, relatively on the speed, but the G-force suggests that there's something there. I don't know what it is, but there's certainly something there which it doesn't like. Let's just go new scenario for now. Yeah, there's something with it that it doesn't like, and I don't know what's at Copenhagen that causes that.
Program files Lockheed Martin registered. Prepar 3D registered V4 unavailable. Submenu dialog window. Change vehicle button. Change your selected vehicle. Flight SAS 9241.
Anyway, I don't know whether I'll keep that in my Project Fly, because it doesn't look very good with the landing, but I'll keep it for now. It's always good because I can see the stats then. Yeah, I don't know what it is with... Don't tell me P3D is now doing this unavailable thing. Oh, no, it's not. Come on, P3D, I want you to close. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I need to have a look on Google and see... Oh, come on, P3 crap. It's because it's got this C thing. Is this,
Bottom blank. Close button closes the window. Object review. No object C. Program files Lockheed Martin unknown. Clean unknown. Lockheed Martin register. Show desktop. No object. Lock C. Close button. No preview. C. Program files lock. Close button closes the window. Press.
Ah, there we go. We're actually back in P3D now. Although the plane's still in the air, so that's... No, it's just got us back in there as well. Exit P3D. Yeah, I need to have a look on Google and see if there's any information about what's at Copenhagen. Because it's not the aircraft, because I've managed to land with it fine before, but it is Copenhagen. Right. I am going to just check chat and then I'll install these things. Marshall, please don't backseat. And Francesco, yeah, it's going great. Yeah, I'm not on Teambook at the minute now. Right, let me find this TSS folder.
Everything edit blank. List M64.
No, I don't want that. Oh, it's probably going to bring up a load of stuff.
Profile menu. Unknown. Documents window preview level 1. Translation French.
Where will it be? Is it even in here? I don't know. It might be in my downloads actually.
Downloads.
Where is the unzipped?
TSS23. Type edit file folder.
Here we go. This is what I want.
List. FS 2004 FSX204.
So we want.
Date modified. Boeing 101. Type edit file folder. Boeing 101.
That's just Boeing.
Items view list FSX304. FS 2004 104.
I have a feeling it's in here. Let me just check FSX. I don't think it's in FSX.
Items view list Antonov 240. DA3. Beechcraft. Boeing 5. Concorde 6. CRJ. The Adel. Douglas 904.
I don't think we have one for FSX, which is why we have to use the... Yeah, we haven't. We've just got a DHC6, which is different. So it's a little bit buggy from what I remember. You kind of hear the cockpit noises from the outside. But it'll do.
Q400. PW158. Q12300.
Yeah, so we have the Q400. We don't want the Q300s and whatever. Right, looks like it's an application. Don't know what folder structure it's actually going to use, so I might just stick it on my desktop and just sort it out then.
Install program dialog. Next press.
Because I have never installed these sounds.
Left button, edit red only multi-line. Left greater but pressed unavailable. Left edit red only multi-line. Selected copyright all. I do not agree radio. I agree with you.
Yes, I agree, of
course. Selected D. Exit web server desktop. Button. Next great.
I'm going to just get it to do it on my desktop, because then I can just see what it's going to create with the folders.
55%. 73%. 87%. Unavailable. Next greater button alt plus N.
I can't even see the chat at the minute because my phone's not loading the thing because of the probably because of the Wi-Fi being just useless. So that's installed to the desktop. Right, we don't need a bonus video. No idea what that is. Where's it installed all the stuff?
YouTube DLG 9 Apple Vis 16 Microsoft Flex Tarkos 30 44 TeamSpeak 3 client TSS bonus video 40.
Right, we don't need that.
Progress more details check.
Bugger off.
Menu. Profile. Folder view list optimal top speed 315 to 43.
Oh,
that's... 1 key recovery open broadcast optimal sound settings 1 to 43.
Optimal sound settings will also be
sound
from that.
1 to 42.
Sound will be the sound folder we want.
Team 20 TW TeamSpeak 3 Team top 5 classic top speed 3 4 2 Sim 25 to 42.
I don't know what else they've installed on here. I'll have to go and have a look. Because I think... Read this, please. I don't know what that is. I don't need that. Oh, and uninstall. Can go. And then that's perfect, because then we just need the sound folder, which goes into airplanes.
Airplanes window. Items. The Avalon Delta. DHCA. Douglas DC-850. DHCA Q400. Items view list. Sound.0415. Rename.
So this is called
sound.0.
0.
Zero.
I'm just going to call this sound old.
Sound old 415.
Paste this new one in as
sound 16,
so.
16. Rename. DH. S-O-S-S-O-U-N-D.
And call it sound.0.
Dash. Sound.0. Sound.
Like the other one.
Sound.05.
Check this is the correct.
Items view list. Full A243.
Yeah, it's got the stuff in.
Unknown. Profile.
Nice.
Profile. Folder view list.
Is this still even streaming?
Stop streaming.
Yeah, we are still
Folder view
going.
MCE multi-group Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Right, I'm going to launch FSX, and whilst that happens, I'm just going to see if I can get the chat back.
Unknown. Scheme. Clean memory monitor unknown. Mic clean memory monitor unknown. Gain.
Right, there we go. I've got the chat back. Yeah, Marshall, I'm well aware. I know what it does. It's in the. It's in the. I know where it is. I found it, and it's sorted out with the desktop. But it's easier to do it that way because otherwise you have to. It just installs a load of rubbish, and a lot of it you don't need. Yeah, I need to see what's happening with Copenhagen. That's quite annoying. I don't know why it. I mean, we landed fine the first time, but it sounded like we landed, braked, and then hit something. You know, once we'd actually. Touchdown, so I don't know why
Microsoft Flight Simulator. Microsoft Flight Simulator dialog.
Why that is, but anyway, irrelevant. We're going to do this flight now as well, so this will be the second one. Let's just get the aircraft. So we are doing Zagreb. Does anyone know what the code for Zagreb is? I don't think I've ever flown there. Obviously Dubrovnik is LDDU. I will go and check what Zagreb is.
Select aircraft dialog. All.
So we want
Boeing QW, Boeing 700.
Not the Boeings.
Bombardier, Boeing 700, Bombardier CRJ, Airmail 3, Boeing B757, Bombardier CRJ 200, Bombardier CRJ, Boeing F/.
CRJs. That's the one we want. Dash 8Q400. And then we're going to do this.
Microsoft change space press.
And this is where I need the IKO. So let me go and see if I can find it. Right, looks like it's going to be LDZA. So let's find a gate. Oh. Okay, it doesn't look like they have much. Yeah. I assume this is the right airport. Anyway. Let's just estimate the fuel. I'd imagine we're only going to need about, 40... let's even maybe see if we can say 40 in the left, about 45 in the centre, 40 there.
Payload settings dialog.
We'll leave the payload as it is, that's irrelevant. Fly now.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Plane won't start, Marshall.
Menu.
It's very weird.
Profile. Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Right. Oh, I don't think it's loaded yet. I assume this has avionics, so I'll know when it's loaded. So for this particular flight, we're going to be flying with the FST. There's our avionics. They're the usual sounds. So what we're going to do is just quickly go to Project Fly.
Project Fly window row 1 column 1. Document busy. Blank.
And plan the flight, the second one.
Project Fly graphic logo. Project Fly list with table with 4 rows and 4 columns. Row 1 column 3 SSY column 4 rudder. Radar button.
What's that?
Fly now button.
Alright, fly now.
Search airfields. Edit. Blank.
So we're doing LDZA,
List with 1 item clickable.
and we're going to LDDU. What's the bedding? We're going to crash at LDDU. That's an A319, we're not doing it in that. That is one that does it, but we're doing it in a...
319 heading. No previous heading. Your route heading level 5. 9 flights. Dubrovnik heading clickable.
Apparently there isn't even one in a Q400, although they did used to do it in a Q400. Well, we're going to do it in a Q400, I don't care.
OU 606, 319 heading clickable level 3. 04, OU 668 heading
Let's just, I don't think there is any... What airline is that? I don't know if that's Air Croatia or Croatian airline. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do then. Let's see if I've got any...
Clickable G with 300, clickable FTK, clickable G2E D7, clickable GFDJ, clickable G B7, clickable GFDJ A170, clickable GFICU, clickable GEZGZA 300, clickable GGATK 300,
got any random
Q400, clickable GMC 700, clickable GC Judges, clickable GCRJ 85, clickable GBIG D7, clickable 747, clickable GWU 7, clickable ISFDs, clickable IVET 321, clickable N954 NNDs, clickable CGTSRA 332, Air Transit, CY, let's complete it, list with 40 items, new aircraft button, out of list network. List with 40, shared cockpit button, edit OU 600, Kelson, edit.
I'm pretty sure I do somewhere, so... Is that... That's currently at Manchester. Tell you what, let's just do it. It's not a... It's using a Flybe -8, but I don't really care. It's still a Q400 and it's... they used to do this in a Q400 anyway, but obviously they no longer do. Or Project Fly doesn't have it. Which is very unlikely because they update the schedules every month. So, but the flight request was in a Q400 or an A319, so we're going to do it in this.
Column 6 GTC heading level 3. Column 7 fly now, link briefing, R.
So first we're just going to export.
Out of table, clickable, file type, click E.
I'm going to go down here and we want
clickable FS 2004, clickable
FSX.
Button available, button
I'm going to click pre-CD because that goes to my Flight Sim X folder for some reason.
Export.
This row has been successfully exported.
Table with 1 rows and 7. Column 3 LDZA ZAC heading level 3. Column 7 flight link R.
Briefing. Let's see what we're doing out of here.
Mozilla Firefox busy. Mozilla Firefox. Document busy. Blank. Zaldo PDF 1,550. Clickable.
Right.
Zaldo PDF page 1. ALTF.
So I'm not bothered about the... Oh, actually, let me just... So we're going up to 190 and this. So it's got a SID there, we might not even bother with that, it's a really short flight I think. So we're going off 05, perfect. Fly now on that. 230 nautical miles. I'm not even going to bother with the SID then because I can't be bothered to faff about, to be perfectly honest. FS Tramp. If you might want to try, Marshall, see if you can fly into Copenhagen in the A320 IAE. Just do like a really short flight and see how yours goes. It's try like Oslo to Copenhagen or Stockholm. See if yours does the same. Now I need to find out. Just gonna check. I don't know which is. I mean, the Bombardier and the de Havilland, they're both the same thing. DHC8 is not really... We are the de Havilland -8 Q400 with a D. Yeah, okay, we'll just go for the de Havilland one. That one will be fine. Right, this autopilot box needs to be checked. Okay, so let's just check. That's 1500, 170. That's going to just go to 1,900,000. There's no Mach speed there. Set to 190. I might bump that up in the thing, but that's fine. 100 knots for the touchdown. That'll do. I mean, that's a little bit slow, but we'll be fine. Right, okay on that. Plan. Open. Oh, actually, we usually do this on the runway, don't I? Let's start the engines up and do it on the runway. Here comes the second engine. In this aircraft it seems to really rev itself up, I've no idea why. Right. I assume that's us all started up and ready to go. Slightly weird sounds, but okay. Right, let's just go to the runway then.
Activate. Flight. World. Invoke. World activate. Go to air. Invoke. Search result. There are 7. There are 8 clear filters. 8.
So we are
23. 5.
05.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Right. Some flaps, please. Let's go here. Oh, I clicked the bloody screenshot button. Well, I didn't even click it, it just thinks we are. I don't know why it does that. Right, so now we can go open. Oh, I know why it's not there. Because I need to go into documents, don't I?
Documents. P. Items view list. Possible.
And then go to here, and then it'll be that one. Cut and just stick it in.
Items view list.
Flight Sim X files.
Flight Simulator X files. Items view list. 2001. FS tramp. Map 1.
Right, there we go.
028.
So,
Nav 1. 100.
hopefully for the final time.
FS plan L.
Plan.
Context menu. Open. O.
Open.
List. JF Boeing flight plans 250. L. 0.
That's the one we want.
001 FS tramp. Map 1.
Now let's try and add the star.
113 WD. Yacht Nice 0 WT Massive. WTEBL 556 16 Massive 0 feet desk. D1 300 LDZA 300 Prague 40 and AC1 plan Liso. Avio. RW list. 1 half remaining. IOS IDS. C O space S I.
So there's the SIDS thing. Click. Then actually, I might be able to object nav it down.
No objects inside.
Sometimes you can.
LDZA tab control. SIDS tab selected. No objects inside.
There's the SIDS tab.
SIDS tab. No objects inside. Edit red only. Find input line. List unknown. Property page remaining. Toolbar. Flight plan cruising altitude / speed checkbox not checked.
Ah, maybe it's going to show it.
List LDZA Alt FT 353. Time.
If I tab again. Here we go. This is what we want, isn't it?
Coder collapse 2 of 11. Muzzle collapse. Knives collapse. Ability collapse. Petov collapse. Pod collapse. Rasen collapse. Tebly collapse.
We were on the Tebly.
Level 2 TEBL 505102. TEBL 4J23202. Level 1 collapse 10. Level 2 TEBL 505102.
So I think it'll be that one.
TEBL 5005. Context menu. Sorting by ECP. Associate with flight plan.
Associate with flight plan. Well, that was relatively easy. We got there pretty fast on that one. So that's not bad at all.
Dialog find input line remaining. Preview. 100 nav 1 nav 0 8 map flight autopilot 00 auto U.
Autopilot can
Autopilot.
come on. Just wait for it to load itself.
Property page 43 deck 360 FT 0 FT slash min 0 nav 1 frequency. Flight L.
Fly
Flight plan
plan.
M1 checkbox not checked.
Let's check we've got the stuff included. Oh, is it just loading itself?
30 degrees max tank.
There we
19,000
go.
alt. 0500 FT slash 190.
So we're going to 190. It's got doesn't seem to have any
Microsoft
restrictions.
Flight Simulator X.
Right, I reckon we can go full power. Let's release the
Done.
brakes, make sure we are, and let's go.
S. S.
Nice. Right, we're up, gear up. Flaps up. Yeah, I mean,
S.
don't seem bad. The sound pretty realistic.
S. 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 S.
Don't say they're bad at all. Anyway, off we go.
S.
Are you trying to get out of there? Oh dear, Marshall. Yeah.
S.
Yeah, it could be
S.
something to do with
S.
your settings.
S.
Anyway, seems pretty stable. This certainly seems fine and you know, doable. Flying just fine. I don't think this aircraft does have call outs, so I am going to have to monitor our altitude myself, so. Yeah, they are pretty nice actually. Sounds pretty much, you know.
S.
Sounds right for it. Let's have
Hey.
enough flyby view. Sounds about right for a Q400. Yeah.
A. A. S.
Yeah. That's what you don't get with the Eurofly.
S.
Actually, I could do. Does anyone want to
S.
do
S.
an overnight Eurofly long haul somewhere? Because I have an early start tomorrow, so we could do, because I haven't flown Eurofly for a while, we could do an overnight Eurofly long haul if anyone wants to do one. You know, and I'll just like use the auto hotkey and just leave it. Something that'll land at like 10 AM tomorrow or something. How's my RAM and stuff doing?
50.1% RAM used. CPU 31.3%.
Oh, perfect.
S.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying, that Copenhagen thing though. I don't get why it's not working with the Copenhagen
Yes.
airport. Now, when we get above like 10,000 or 15,000, I think it is, or something, you should hear the props come back.
S. S.
But we're still on max prop at the minute. Yeah, that's right, Josh. This is the Q400 sounds.
S.
I wanted a Q400 for P3D, but there isn't one, so.
S.
But this is the Q400 FS 2004. Works pretty well. It works just fine. Obviously,
S.
like the only thing is,
S.
say like there when you're on tower view, You still get the cockpit sounds, and they're on the outside as well. You don't really hear them. Francesco, you want to? Okay. I'll have to find one. You just get Singapore or I forget his name. Whatever. Yeah, Alexandra's on it. Say we want a mega long haul on you. Yeah. A bit early for us to go at the minute, because then it wouldn't be long enough. But. Oh, you have a dash for P3D. Is this the Q400? Because I can't remember. I looked for P3D, and this is the Premier Aircraft Design one. You think there's one on Riku? I couldn't find one on Riku when I looked, but I guess you can get one on Air We Go, because you're obviously part of them, so that you know that works. I might have to get you to send me the thing.
Track flight, track distance 204 nm, 164 distance, altitude 8,372.
Altitude was
Microsoft
still
Flight Microsoft Flight Simulator.
slowly coming up. Kyle, I don't think that'll be long enough. England to Philadelphia, or you know, London Heathrow or something to Philadelphia. I don't think that'll be long enough. Because if we take off at like 9, I'm going to need the flight to be like 12 hours maybe. 12, 13 hours. One works with P3D, right, great, okay, I'll put it in P3D. Because I think they have an FSX version in FS 2004, and I never tried it in P3D. But it works, does it? Okay. I will gladly put it in P3D then. Not that I mind flying in FSX at all, but you know, just you get the sound advantage in P3D. Yeah, I should fly for Air We Go, Josh. Yeah, that's one of the virtual airlines that I'd like, I think. Especially like you say, because they fly a lot around Europe and UK, and they've got cargo hubs, and I think I would like Air We Go. KPHLT just 10 hours, yeah. I mean, so 10 AM tomorrow. I mean, you'd have to depart at like midnight. I need something that's a little bit longer. Have a look what's going out of Heathrow. I want to do something in like the 747. Why is my flight board at London Heathrow dimmed? How the hell can that be dimmed? There we go. Right, that's Aer Lingus, we won't be doing that. We're going to Muscat, that's a B789 from BA. How long's that? Oh, that's only 7 hours 33 minutes, that's no good. That's Austrian, don't want you. Oh, B744, what's that? Come here, you little sod. Oh, I've lost it now. I wish there was an easier app to use. Oh, I don't... There we go. Oh, that's just going to JFK, that won't be long enough. There's an Etihad A388 Going to Abu Dhabi, but I don't think that'll be long enough. No, that's like 7 hours. God damn it! Where's the longer flights? That's about it going out of Heathrow. Naff all in terms of long hauls. How do you set it up? I can send you the Dropbox link, Josh. Basically, all you do, and if you get my latest mods, then it's pretty alright-ish. Basically, you download the Auto Hotkey program, install it, and then it'll put like a file in your documents folder, which is just a script. And you just run the script, and then whenever you want to leave the PC or not have to mess about with Eurofly, or not be at the PC, you just run the script, leave it in the Eurofly window, and it'll press F2 every like I can't remember what it is, 35 seconds or something, 40 seconds, which does absolutely nothing unless you're in an identification zone, in which case it identifies for you. So it basically just removes that, and as long as you uncheck as long as you uncheck the storm thing, because if you're not there, that's the only thing it can't do, and they're kind of stupid anyway, then it's fine. Because obviously, if you're in a Cat 3 aircraft, then you'll have your TS, your autopilot to deal with to deal with the other things like TCAS. It's just a script that I made basically. When did the props come back on this Dash 8? I thought the props was supposed to come back. Oh, we are only at 14,000. We're climbing really slowly. What's that climbing rate? I thought we were supposed to go higher than this. Oh, okay, we are climbing, just really slow. What did I set them to? It's just the default profile, Josh. It's just the Havilland Dash 8Q400. Well, it's not the Q400. I think it's the Dash 8C or something. I'm not sure it's exactly the right profile, but it's 190 for departure, or as in, like initial, and then it goes to 100 for touchdown. 45 seconds, says Francisco. Right, okay, yeah, that's what it is then. Do you want me to... I can put the Dropbox link in chat, actually, for you, Josh. Not that... I mean, I still don't play Eurofly a lot, but it's it's okay. It's alright, I mean... Especially with my mods, I like how it sounds. Obviously, I don't like the fact... But the flight times aren't that bad, actually. Usually the flight times are pretty close to real. Even though you're not on actual routing and you're just going direct. They're relatively close, give or take 30 minutes or something on a long haul. Have I heard anything about any updates to Eurofly that are going to come out? Well, I mean, we all know Eurofly 3 is coming. It's coming whenever it's coming. I don't know any more than that. I know stuff that's going to be in Eurofly 3 that people may not know, that I'm not supposed to say, but I don't know when it's coming. It's not even in beta yet, so it's not coming anytime soon. No, 900. What about London Heathrow to Cocos Island, Australia? Is that even an operated flight? Was that a real world flight? Put it in drop. Yeah, I'll paste the link for you now, Josh. You would up the speed thing for the prop thing to take effect. Yeah, our ground speed is very slow at the moment. Why does it say minus 3700? I think we're still climbing. Actually, it seems to be struggling to climb. Is it struggling? I don't know. Yeah, look, our altitude's actually going down. A lot. Why is our altitude dropping? Are we going too slowly or something, or what?
Property page 322 deck 12,700 FT minus 4400 FT slash net 250.
Yeah, it's absolutely
Map 1.
diving.
Flight auto 342. H 30 degrees max tank. 19,000. All 1100 FT slash net.
Why is it not like climbing
I
us?
out. Find. Top self plan tools. L. Plan.
This is,
Context menu. Oh, save top aircraft.
I wonder if the speed
Aircraft
needs to be higher.
Help loop save delete auto. Climb edit multi-line. Selected 100.
Is it maybe climbing too much?
Climb edit multi-line alt plus D. Selected 1500.
Is it? I wonder if it. I don't think it should be.
Edit multi-line alt plus C. Selected 19,000. Edit multi-line. Selected 190.
I mean, I can increase the speed to like 235 or something.
OK button. Space.
But I don't see that there's a problem. Why is it not? Why is it like diving? Or was diving, I don't know if it still is.
Menu. Micro 01 FS tramp.
See what it's doing now.
Property page 342 deck 12,020 FT 1600 FT slash net 200.
Oh, now it's climbing again. In fact, it's almost climbing too much.
Flight autopilot off 300 HD 30 degrees max tank 19,000 alt 1100 FT slash net.
Seems to be alright now.
12,316 12 ground speed 235 k 12,421 01 FS
It's
tramp.
very weird. I don't get why we were so slow.
Distance 179 nm.
Distance is 179.
01 FS tramp.
Like, I don't get that.
Property page 341 S. S.
I couldn't give you a reason for that.
28%.
Flight time is 12 hours 9 minutes. I'll have a look at the flight. In your flight 3. No, well, I mean, not really, Carl, because there's no physics. Well, I mean, there's no physics for real aircraft at the minute, but there's no physics for helicopters or airships, and helicopters would have to have a heliport.
33%.
People have made helicopters for Eurofly 2, but there's not. Eurofly 2 is for aircraft. It's not really for helicopters. I'm not saying it couldn't expand in the future, but I don't think that's coming in Eurofly 3 now. Marshall says it's stalled. Yeah, I wonder if that was the problem, whether we were flying too slow for the altitude we were at. I think that must have been it, because I've increased the speed now and we seem fine. What speed do you have yours at in the Q400, Marshall? Because I've got mine. Right, I'll show you what I've got at the minute. I've never flown this aircraft with FST, so I've no idea what what you set this stuff to. So what do you have it as, Marshall? Because I've got climb is 1500, although it wasn't maintaining 1500. Obviously, cruising I've now got set to 235, and descent is that, touchdown is 100. Airport name is West Island. Right, I'll take a look. I'll have a look. Although you don't understand why. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if we were just too slow. I think we were like at 190 knots or something at like 14,000 feet. I don't know if we were just flying too slowly. Yeah, is there anything in there you have different in your Dash 8? The gear and everything's up, so
14,258 feet.
I think we're climbing all right now. We seem to still be kind of struggling. We're not really up at cruise yet. Oh no, we're climbing at 1,000 feet per minute now. We seem just fine. It just, I think maybe we were flying too slowly. I don't know. To be fair, we were at like 15,000 and the speed was still at like 190. Shouldn't, I don't know. I think it was something gone wrong and we'd stalled, I think, because it was slowly just starting to fall out of the sky. Let me look up this flight then. Oh no, let me do right. So you've got my latest mods, Josh. Right, so let me find the script. You have to download AutoHotkey from the website, but I can give you the script that actually you run. I don't even think it's in
Menu.
Dropbox.
D.
Let me
Unknown.
just, I can put it in Dropbox.
Documents window. A. Auto hotkey 6 of 80. Type edit auto hotkey script read only rows.
Yeah, here we go, this is the one.
Date mod. Auto hot. Flight request stream.
Auto hotkey script, right, copy.
2001 FS tramp. Folder view list. Project flight. D. Dropbox 13.
Right, let me just launch my
Microsoft
Dropbox.
Flight Simulator X.
Resets 250, right, it could have been that, Marshall, I'll do that. Yeah, I fixed the... Don't worry, that's just because it's on Dropbox. Yes, you do, and I fixed the tones folder, yeah, Josh. It's in the shared Eurofly folder. Now, and if you want any other aircraft, let me know, because there's probably some that aren't in there as well. Right. I've done that in there, and I'll send you the script. Because I also made some other aircraft like this. I can't remember, the 747-8 I haven't got in there. Right, are we still climbing? Looks like we're good. But I'll go and do what Marshall said and change the speed to 250. That might help. I think we were just too slow. It has to have been that. Props are still at full anyway.
Context menu. Aircraft F.
250. Right, get it to do that then. And I'll post the link in chat.
S.
There you go, Josh. The Dropbox link to the AutoHotkey script is in chat.
100, 0, 8, flight, auto, pilot map, 100, HDG, 30 degrees, 19,000, alt, 0800 FT slash min.
Right, I think we're leveling off now.
19,000, 30 degrees, HDG, 30 degrees, 19, alt, nav 1, 250.
It still sounds like the props are at full to me, but maybe we're just not going fast enough. But we seem to be alright. 298 on there. We're leveling, or...
17,634 feet.
Are we still climbing, I assume?
17,677 altitude. 17,677 feet.
Yeah, it looks like we are.
17,720.
Yeah, we're still doing fine.
Property page 266, 17,780.
Yeah, but apparently Marshall says when he flew the Dash 8, the props came back. I can bring them back manually, I think, because on the Dash 8 what they do is the props actually come back, obviously. But with FST, apparently Marshall says when he flew it, it did it, but I haven't had it yet. Right, so this flight that Francesco was on about, I've never heard of this airport, so let's go and see. Search by route. London Heathrow. West Island. Is that what it is? Is it West? West? Let me go and see what he put. What did he say? Where was the message? The airport name is West Island. Doesn't seem to show that. I doubt that's a real world flight, Francesco. It's probably not done in the real world. I know it could be done in a flight, but I want to do it like an actual real world one, if you see what I mean.
Fly holding in, fly plan, fly holding. Altitude 18,992 feet.
Right, we're pretty much coming right up to cruise.
Fly hold auto 1 HD 19 alt 0000 FT
Yeah, which we have leveled off. So we're finally at cruise after the antics of the Q400. Yeah, let me know, Marshall, when you do the Copenhagen thing, how it goes, because I'm interested to see what's wrong with the Copenhagen airport. It seems really awkward to land at. I don't know whether it's FST or whether it's just the airport. I'm pretty sure I've landed there before though with FSX Pilot. There has to be... Right, let me go and have a look at some other big hub airports, because I'll be able to find one. Let me go and have a look out of Frankfurt, actually. Because that usually has some good ones. Don't want to search by route, I want to search... airports and cities. Echo Delta Delta Foxtrot. Frankfurt. Right, let's see what they've got. There might be some Lufthansa 747 routes. Right. An A321, don't want you. That's a 777 to Atlanta. There's an Asiana 744 going to Seoul. Let's see how long that is. Oh, that's 10 hours. That is just a little bit too short. That was almost perfect. But that's... There's a Saudi 744 going out of there to Riyadh. Oh, but that's only 4 hours, so we're not doing that. That's an MD-11, I haven't got an MD-11. That's another... I'm going to Abu Dhabi. Where's all the Lufthansa? That's going to Tokyo. That's the Lufthansa 777. That's 11 hours 25 minutes. We could do that. I don't really want to fly the 777 today, but I guess that's doable. Right, so that's that one. I really wanted it right. I guess I could also... look at Amsterdam, because that usually has long hauls and loads of stuff. Flight border here. Loads of ones going to Abu Dhabi all the time. That's KLM going to Singapore, which we could do. Probably. 737, that's no good. That's about it there. I mean, I check. Charles de Gaulle, Paris. Could do the 777 one that I found out of Frankfurt. Ooh, what's that? Oh no, that's going to Moscow. That was a 747, but it was going to Moscow. It's to... what about this one in the 7-8 from Paris? Oh no, that's only 8 hours. Pakistan, I'm not flying this Pakistan, otherwise I'll just get blown out of the sky. You should obviously not really, but that's another one going to Seoul. Yeah, there's not really that. I guess we could look out of America and go the other way somewhere. There's a little... Yeah, there's loads of little ones, but there's a few there we could do. I would get FS Tramp, Kyle. MCE is good, but you can't do a full flight with MCE. MCE is very intuitive. You can use the speech recognition, but you can't land. So you need another add-on to actually fly. Yeah, I know, we've levelled off, but the props haven't come back. Marshall reckons they do, though. You sure you saw a video from Frankfurt to RJAA? Probably, you probably did, yeah. I mean, there probably is a video from Frankfurt to there. Yeah, the props haven't come back at all. I don't know, maybe you have to go even higher than this. I really don't know. We're pretty much at cruise, we're stable. 154 nautical miles, so we're going pretty slow, but yeah.
Property page 156, 19,000 FT0 FT/2.
Increase speed 270, why will that make him come back? Right, okay, let's try that then.
AC1, L, DL1, I got plant pools, top pools, plant pool, L. Context menu, save, clear seat, top aircraft, F. Help loop, edit mode, cruising edit multi-line, edit multi-line, selected 250. 8, 7, 0, edit. This name, the auto type, okay, space, 001 FS tramp.
That's going to increase the speed more.
Zero to 84 point. S.
I don't know why P3D launched me back into the air though. I thought that was only what FSX did, because P3D has crash detection off. Does FS Tramp cost money? Yes, you get 20 free flight simulator trial sessions, so you can try it, and then it may. Well, some people have said that they think they've gone past 20 and it's still been fine, but I've had people who it's stopped working on, so you can buy a license. Or if you want something that is free, FSX Pilot will fly for you, but it's not quite as good as FS Tramp in managing the aircraft, but it is free if you want something that you know you're not going to have to pay for at all.
Orbit Y100,
You literally can't pay.
HD 3019 alt 0000 FT/min.
Trying to work out what the best way is. I mean, I wonder if that Copenhagen I idled the throttle too early. Sorry, too late. Problem was we weren't coming down very fast. But if you idle it, you start coming down even faster. What have you been doing, Marshall? Are you idling the throttle when the AP comes out, or are you starting to idle it at like 50 or 40 or something?
Yes.
Because I mean, I've had that where it produces great landing rates, but at some airports you almost feel like you're missing the runway because you don't idle it. Especially on that Copenhagen approach, because it seems to come out about 400 feet. So then the plane starts slowly coming down because you've still got the power in. I think maybe, you know, I idled the power I think at about 100 because we were coming down so slow. But if maybe I should just idle it earlier. I don't know if we missed the runway or what. FSX Pilot doesn't cost anything now, Kyle. It was made freeware.
Yes.
Previously there was a freeware and a payware version, but
Yes,
there's
yes.
now all just been rolled into one. I definitely like these sounds more than the sky high ones, though. The sky high ones are a bit, I don't know, they don't quite have the same bass and a bit. They're not quite the same, and these are more realistic with their props. Right, I assume we're still...
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Oh, we're already in the window. Laugh out loud. I assume we're still,
Property page 171 19,000 FT0 FT /270
yeah.
frequency 130.
Still at cruise. 270 knots. I'll have to have a look what the actual official speeds are for this aircraft. But we're still going. Hello, Borak. See what flyby sounds like in this view. Oh, as if you got the cockpit sound in flyby. That was crap. Just because the sounds are for FS 2004.
Track flight project 101 NM. South 01 FS tramp. Property page 172 19,000 FT0 FT /2.
You back, Marshall? Right, yeah. What I was saying was with the Copenhagen landing, it sounded like to me because the AP disconnected. It must have been about 350 feet. So I kept the power in. We're coming down, then we're coming down really slowly. So I took it out. What are you doing? Are you taking the power out as soon as the AP comes out, or are you taking the power out at about 50? Because especially at Copenhagen, it seems to be a problem. Too sure about sound modelling, but well, I don't think it's necessarily to do with the sound modelling, Marshall. It's to do with the aircraft and the props, because you have to do things to actually get the props to come back to like cruise power. I don't think it's all to do with sound, because the sound and the pitch of the props is that. I mean, there was a command, wasn't there, to get the props to come back, and then they will come back properly. Oh, why are there so many absolute idiots on the Eurofly mailing list? Like, I don't know if it's just me, but I just get so annoyed when I read an email that just has no punctuation, makes no sense at all, and he's just by some like who's got mistakes in it. Someone who has clearly used dictate and has just gone blah, 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 send. With no punctuation, and you just think, just try. It's not difficult. It's just like it literally just says, "Hello everyone. I have a question. I have seen on the website a Eurofly 2 mod packet for the basic task. Someone knows if there is one with Eurofly 2 can help me, because maybe someone can help me about answer. I would be grateful." Like, what does that even mean? What? Like, is English your first language? I hope it's not, because if it's not, fair enough, but if it is, you've got some issues. Right, so if you bring, what was it, plus F, oh, F1 to F4, is that it? You're going to try FS Tramp so you can see. There's not a lot of setting up to do, Carl. You just have to launch the installer, install it, you have to run the scenery database manager, and then you have to learn the layout, but it's not an easy layout. to learn, but it is doable. Marshall says LF1 to F. Do you mean just the usual F1 to F4? Just like the usual F1 to F4. Yeah, I don't want to lose speed. I'm just going to leave it like this because we're fine as it is. Control F1 to F4. Right, okay, I see. Oh, yeah. I will try it. I'm not going to try it on stream though, because it would just be typical and we'd just drop out the sky and, you know, that would be the end of the flight. So, I'm not going to do it now. Maybe they'll come back when we start descending. So we're going to land this one, and then I may do a Eurofly long haul departure. I've just got to find a Eurofly long haul to do. It's about 12 hours. Assume we're still up at cruise. 67 and we're still at cruise. It will start descending, it's just going to do it late as usual. It's just, I think it's unfortunately a problem with the blind community, and I see it a lot. Maybe it's just me. I don't know whether it happens, you know. And it's, ooh, what happened there? I see it a lot, and it's people who just use dictate and do not do any punctuation, and everything is all jumbled together, and they just assume they can just dictate. And they always tend to be the same types of people who just want everything on a plate. Like, what do you mean about a Eurofly 2 mod? Go on the website, read the thing, have a look. Like, I don't understand. You know, I don't understand what mod you mean. My mod? A mod? A random mod? What mod?
107 HDG.
I don't know. Oh, we are descending. 15,300. Minus 1,500. I did hear the props come back a little, but nothing, you know, major, so we'll continue on our way down. So it's 100 knots for approach. Screen reader. I use NVDA. because you can use screen review. Oh yeah, you're fine, Francesco, and your English isn't even your first language, but it's perfectly readable. Like, of course it takes longer to type a message with dictation, or to dictate it, and to go and put punctuation in. But just say it as you go along, just, you know, even if it's just comma, full stop, the most basic forms. I'm not saying that I want people to do colons and semicolons and all this, you know, like, that's not what I'm saying, but just at least try, because otherwise it's barely even readable. Alright, yeah, Marshall, see if you can do Copenhagen after that. But, yes. As long as you get... What are you flying? The, flying the Premier, did you say now?
Minus 1600. 12,000.
Okay, so we're going down to 12,000 now. Use braille screen input. Yeah, I mean, that's another perfectly valid way of doing it. There's so many ways of doing it, like, whatever's fastest. You can use dictate and do punctuation. Dictate sometimes gets it wrong, so you have to check it. If you're proficient on braille screen input, I'm proficient in braille, but I don't use braille screen input. You could do that. Some people prefer to have a Bluetooth keyboard and connect it that way. I mean, if I'm at my PC, I'll always type it on there, because I'm more proficient with that. But it's just the people who just dictate, don't read it back at all, no punctuation, the words don't make sense because it means nothing, and then it just looks bad on the individual. Like, it makes you look like you're about 5 years old. It really does. And I just look at it and I go, nah, I'm not helping you. I can't be bothered with you, because you're clearly just one of these needy people, and you're not bothering to even, you know, give me a clear meaning. Maybe they do, but then they should read the thing, and if you all you have to literally do is just read it back with voiceover. I realise I'm ranting a bit now, but all you have to do is just read your message back with voiceover, and you can hear that there's no gaps. Like, it'll just go, there'll be no gaps, no pauses. It just sounds like an absolute, you know, mashed up mess. So they can clearly see that their message isn't correct, but they don't read it back, they just hit send. All the smashing sounds there. I almost dropped my phone, and like in my effort to save it, I just pulled it sort of off to the side and it just smashed into my headset, so yeah, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I prefer dictation for longer messages, because when you're on the go, you don't want to be typing it out, or, you know, anything that you're quicker in. Braille screen input like Borak uses, or a lot of people use, then yeah. I don't know, I really don't know. I just think it's a bit of a temptation for some people in the blind community who just think that because they have dictate and because they use voiceover, people will just forgive errors, so they just dictate a whole mash up message, click send, and when anybody reads it back, it's like reading a foreign language. It's like, let's interpret what's being said. Anyway.
07400.
How are we doing? 7,400 is our thing. We're at 245, so I'll start bringing the flaps out relatively soon. And I'll just idle the power. Yeah, so Marshall, what are you doing with the power? Are you just idling it when the AP comes out? I'm going to try that this time. I'll just idle the power as soon as the AP comes out, I think. How are we doing?
Minus 13, 240.
240. Let's give it a notch of flat, maybe.
S.
In no rush.
S.
Got a lot of flap to put out. Cisco, yeah, but you also use. Yeah, I mean, bar screen input's very good, and if you get the hang of it, which I've just never really, I suppose I've never used it enough to get the hang of it. I have tried, but I've just always gone back to dictation. But yeah, dictation is certainly a pain, and especially with flight sim, because a lot of the words that I dictate, sometimes if I'm sending like a message about flight sim or something, just randomly, it doesn't recognise because they're not everyday words. It tries to, like if I say sim, for example, like for the sim, or even FS tramp and stuff, or SIDS and stars. Sometimes it doesn't get that, and I have to go through and just quickly edit it.
S. S.
But I wouldn't just send
0.
that.
225.
Right, another notch of flaps now.
ES. 225. ES.
Keep it to 100 and you're diverting to EG. Oh, okay, then you're right. You are diverting. Interesting. Well, have fun diverting.
0.315. 220.
Right.
S. S.
Looks like we're doing fine. I also have a Bluetooth keyboard that I use to type with on my phone. I have a bigger Bluetooth keyboard, not Bluetooth, like wireless from my laptop, and a smaller Bluetooth on my phone, which I use sometimes to navigate. Problem is the keys are a bit small, so it's not quite as easy to type on, but I'm very, very fast at typing, just touch typing, because I've done it for so long. So whenever I can, I'll if I'm typing a Skype message or something, I'll do it on my PC. If I'm at it. If not, then it is the phone.
0.3 minus 1000 volt. 00 volt minus 1100 FT slash 205.
There goes the gear warning. You can see the power's coming a lot there, just to keep it stable. I think our gear warning is going to be there for a while now. Apologies about that. It's because I've got flaps out. So we've got 100 knots on the approach speed.
Track altitude 4,760.
Still at 4,700, so we're in no rush.
Property page 116, 4680 FT minus 1100 FTs. Fly holding M, fly man M, flat bottom 115, HDG 30 degrees east, 0050 volt, minus 1000 FT 185.
Shut up! I'm in egg.
S. 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 S 44%.
It goes if I put us on outside view. Leave us on outside view for a bit till I put the gear down.
165.
Okay, so the speed
S
is coming back nicely.
%.
I assume the gear warning's still going off. So we're now at 140. Let's go up to the altitude. Where's my altitude? 2900. Right, okay. It's a bit early to put the gear down. I guess I could put it down just to shut that on. Shall we? I'll give it a few more feet. A few more 100 feet.
%. 2,550 feet resin.
Right.
SSG.
Gear's going down. Shut up, warning. We'll be fine with the gear at this height.
2,300 feet resin.
Right, gear is down, coming through 2300. We're fully configured. Speed should be coming back.
SS.
And we are going into Dubrovnik, which apparently has a pretty short runway.
S.
We'll see how we go. Oh, let's also go.
Speed type characters off.
Turn that off. Yeah, I don't mind the booted keyboard. It's pretty nice. Although, like I say, it is a little bit small. So.
750 feet resin.
Oh, flipping it, we're pretty low.
We'll
hear a click when the AP comes out. Ooh, what was that?
86%, 72%, 560 feet resin, 42%, 21%, 33%, 43%.
Are we hitting something or what? I think we've touched down. Sounds like we have. But FS Tramp's still in control. Anyway.
75.
Let's put some reverse in. I think we touched down there. I don't think the AP actually came out. I think it's still trying to fly the plan. But there is stuff around. That's just the air. Right, come on, props. Come back. There is stuff around Dubrovnik, interestingly enough. Right.
51%, 100%, 51%, 100%, 51%, 100%. 51%, 100%,
Alright,
51%,
stop
100%,
at FS
51%, 100%, 51, 51, test 1, 0, 70. LDD, 1, nav 1, total, 5, 100.
Yeah, there is stuff around Dubrovnik.
100%.
Oh, flipping it.
It's
going mad.
00500, 51%.
I think it's still.
000 FT slash min, 100%. Alt 50, 00, alt 00, 100, 51.
I'm not sure.
100, 0, 30 degree, 8,
Anyway, let me get rid of it.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Yeah, I'm not sure that
Microsoft Flight.
that was what it was supposed to do, to be perfectly honest with you.
And flight type, Microsoft Flight.
I don't need an M flight, I just want you to give me focus, but apparently FS Tramp can't do that, so.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
Anyway, whatever, we don't need to
project,
change view. That was very. I don't know if that was a landing, I didn't hear the AP come out, I don't think it did. Distance, oh, the distance, okay, is 1 nautical miles, so, I mean, maybe we did, we sort of landed. I didn't hear the click of the AP, at all, but I mean, I guess in all fairness, it could have been that it was over the top of the aircraft, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, we are, I bet the landing rate's not going to be good. Yeah, you see, minus 1114. I'll complete this flight as well, but
View flight project
I didn't hear the click.
Flight
I
CSS.
think we hit something because
Microsoft,
I didn't
Microsoft
hear
Flight.
a thing at all. Like there was no click
Flight
when
C-
the AP came out because you won't hear the noise of the
Flight failed.
usual.
Flight statistics heading level. Block fuel 1000 112.
That's
Block
a
status
block
complete.
time. Blah,
Distance
blah, blah,
240.
blah. Let's have a look at the
Landing
landing.
heading level. Declan Webb.
Yeah, so there was
Landing heading level
the
4.
initial
2000 time.
landing.
Minus 1938 FPM.
Yeah, we hit something. We have to have hit something with
Landing
that
rate 24.293.
because it was
G-force 0
ridiculous
degrees. 0
G-force,
degrees.
whatever
Roll.
pitch.
126 KTS. Landing
126
2000 time.
knots.
Minus 1100
Yeah,
seconds.
we hit something there. I don't know. I think there's something around Dubrovnik as well. I remember reading that. I knew that about the approach.
Microsoft.
But I thought FS Tramp would have been able to actually
End
get
flight
us in
dialog. End
there.
flight plus E. Microsoft
Is
flight.
this going to let me actually change? Oh, it's got the focus bug, but whatever. Don't need to change views.
End flight dialog. Pressed.
There's yeah, that's rather annoying. I did think it might be
Microsoft
able
flight
to
simulator
get us
dialog.
into
Add control. Flight
Dubrovnik,
dialog. Change. Button alt plus C.
FS Tramp, because
Dialog. Pressed.
it seems to be alright around, you know, areas with terrain, but apparently Dubrovnik it's not, or at least there it's not. Interesting. Yes.
Screenshot uploader 01 column. Screenshot
Oh
uploader.
yes, it's going to bring up screenshot.
Unknown.
I mean, we landed. It sounded
Profile,
alright.
idle,
The
pro-
landing rate was no
list
good,
exclusions,
but
stop.
I don't know whether we did. I'd imagine it looks like we hit something with that kind of, because we had like ridiculous G-force. So I think we must have hit some sort of terrain. Maybe next time I'll try a different runway with FS Tramp or something, because me and Marshall have managed to get into Innsbruck with the FS Tramp, which is there's loads of mountains, so I thought Dubrovnik would be fine, and I think we've got in there with FSX Pilot even, so, but apparently FS Tramp doesn't like that. Let me check chat. The fly plan, but yeah, I know it just went absolutely mad. I think that's why I could tell we'd hit something and we hadn't actually landed, and you know, I just hadn't heard it because the progress bar thing was still going. So we could do a Eurofly long haul. I might not actually stream the Eurofly long haul departure. I'll probably just go on Team Talk now because I've had enough streaming. But yes, I will do another stream. Not very successful landings, but you know, I'll let the stream archive itself because they were, you know, they were fun flights and they worked. The departures were good. Just the landings, both into Copenhagen and into, well, at least we actually landed into Copenhagen and then it hit something on the runway, and then Dubrovnik, I don't think we landed at all. But you know, that's that flight request done, and that's how it turned out. So there's that. No, I didn't hear any click. Usually you hear like a t sound when the AP comes out, and that's when you know that you're pretty, you know, you're 100 feet or a few hundred feet from the ground, but I didn't hear that at all. I think we were still descending, so the elevation was pretty high. Yeah, yeah, but I don't get it. It didn't sound like we landed at all, and the elevation seemed almost too high. So I wonder if we hit something like some terrain or mountains or something. We couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't get out of Innsbruck though. No, we did manage to get in though. Yeah, that's quite annoying that we couldn't get into Dubrovnik, but you know, that is what it is. I guess there's always other things to try. So yeah, I will see you next stream. I don't know when it'll be, but I have got a week off now, so it could be during that if I get time to do something, but I will of course post updates, and I hope you've enjoyed the 2 flights and got some more FS Tramp experience, although not on approaches, because apparently according to this video it's no good on approach. But there we go. Anyway, I will see you in the next video.